11 a.m. In a reading of Media by Euripides, the director reads the final scene where Media makes her way to Athens as Jason lies on the ground in shock, disbelief, anger at his children and wife being murdered by his other wife, the eponymous heroine of the play. The director senses the room is tense. Who is the director? A side character. Nothing extraordinary about them, except their birth. They happen to be one of those foreign returns with a degree in arts. They pride themselves on reiterating stories written by white men hundreds of years ago and derive their merit from it. Who am I to interject? I am A for pancultural linguistic dominance and some anonymity in this case. I also happen to be the narrator of the story, and I don't think linear. But we'll try to keep us on the same page, literally, mostly. I also happen to be a cast member in the play, and I'm quite dispensable as a junior artist. Of course, even in 20XX, theatre in Delhi doesn't make you enough money to sustain yourself. So I keep busy with research. How did I get stuck in the pyramid scheme of academia? Apart from having intergeneration wealth and being righteous, that's a story for another time. Back in the room, the director chimes. The room is open for discussion. I also have another problem. I've been told I'm not a good conversationalist. I interject often at the cost of offending the listener. Been told that I should be compassionate to my audience, who often wonder what pronouns to assign me or walk on eggshells around me because they're so used to erasing my identities. Fuck them. This is my story and I will tell it my way. So, in any scene involving more than one character, I will just summarize what was the gist of the discussion selectively, instead of taking the trouble of elaborating how others must have felt and describing all of their nuances in great detail, assigning them attributes, giving them respect. Most of them don't know folks like me in their personal lives. And how can you remember somebody you don't know? So, this particular discussion on this particular day went on the lines of how Media needs to be divorced from her motherhood since the play relies so much on the shock value of a mother killing her children. Whereas we know so many cases of fathers killing their children in cultures popular and contemporary. A woke boy says how Media needs to be cut some slack, yeah, because she was dealing with so much. It wasn't just the act of her husband being unfaithful, but also how the stakes were higher for her in the relationship from the get go. Having betrayed her father and brother, helping Jason kill the dragon, bearing all the insults that came with being a tribal woman in a Greek society, being ridiculed by Jason's in laws, and all of this coming at the heels of an uncertain future for their children? It was all too much, a chorus responds. Still, killing the children was not cool, yeah. Another woke girl talks about the interpretive nature of justice and how Media wanted Jason to feel the misery he was putting her through, to ensure he's not laughing on her pain, to put him through something similar. Like in the scene where Jason asks the gods to curse her, Media retorts, if there is a god, she's interested in seeing if they will ever listen to a dishonest man's pleas. Have we ever wondered what kind of life Media led after the incidents of the play? She asks. The woke boy, who seemed to previously defend Media, spontaneously wonders out loud if it's okay for us to even go ahead with this production, given that there's a chance our planet might be hit by a meteor, which has led to many violent, spontaneous mass behaviors being exhibited in recent months. And if the play in itself incites violence, the director feels we have strayed from the discussion and asks us to join a meditation circle to refocus our energies. This is my cue to leave. I feign an urgent call and manage to get out of the rehearsal space. To my surprise, I find that I have multiple missed calls from home. Seeing that I live in the same city with my ailing grandmother, this generally implies a medical emergency, where I rush back to check on her. Being a researcher gives me ample amount of time, some of which I like to spend with her. This is when she remembers and feels talkative. Her memory has suffered since diagnosis of Parkinson's and subsequent onset of amnesia in the past few years.